Today, my guest is former WWE superstar. You may remember him as Dabba Kato, Commander Aziz. He's now known as Baba Thunder. Baba, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Man. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Uh, I had a chance to watch a couple of your episodes, and I'm a fan too. So appreciate
Thank
you
you.
having me.
I appreciate it. I'm trying to, talk about a specific time period in people's careers, and it can be hit and miss.
I can imagine. I can imagine. It was actually interesting to see a lot of those faces, and actually interesting how they doing and what's going on, because I know myself know that WWE is not the only thing that is going on in their lives, and everybody have to figure out something else, and this was actually cool to have to talk with you and see what you're gonna come out. You're gonna take out, drag out from me.
So, at what point were you a fan of professional wrestling? How did professional wrestling come into your life?
Oh, that's interesting. I like probably most of the people talk with you. I was not a fan of WWE, and it wasn't from animosity. It was just simple fact that it was not in TV in Poland
Hmm.
when I grew up. Early '90s. It was we had some difference of Polish old school TV and stuff. And it wasn't there.
Hmm.
Uh, then when I started playing football, even this, it was a hustle to watch it. It was not only you got to watch it at night, because time difference, but also because it's not on the TV. You got to hustle to watch it on the internet or download games to watch it, and it wasn't on. So I wasn't a fan. And it was interesting when I first time got to WWE to watch wrestling actually live. I was already signed under contract, so it was for me. It started a little from a different way.
Hmm.
Uh, I got to grow into love it, but the first initial introduction with it was the very first day I walked into WWE Performance Center, and like you said, another pivotal moment in my career. I was after NFL. I was looking, for something new for myself, and most likely would be still football. And back in Europe, I was the man back then. I was the first guy from Polish league to play in NFL. To
Hmm.
have this experience to see how it's done on the highest level. So I was commodity. I would say I was about to go back and actually went back to play and we played national team a match against Czech Republic. It was a great time, but I was looking for something new, and I came to WWE Performance Center, as a athlete, and I was about to show them, I'm going to do this. Um, for some weird reason, I don't know. That's the lack of exposure to it.
Hmm.
I was convinced that the rings in the ropes in the ring are like a bungee rope. I thought the ring itself is like a trampoline. They have to be bouncy because they fall on top of that, they survive. And I walked through the crowd and I approached the rope. The ring itself was bigger than I expected it,
Hmm.
and I grabbed the rope. And it was that moment, like these weird moments, like I was like shocked for a second. I was like, nah, that's a game. So I walked. There was a 7 rings in the building, so I walked to the next one. Yeah, I walked to another one, and this is legit rope. This ring is there. I look underneath. Those are like boards, like wooden boards. I'm like, this is not joke. And that very moment, I was like, okay, this is much more real than I thought. I
Hmm.
could, but it wasn't like, oh, I was afraid of it. It was like I gained so much respect in that moment. It was
Hmm.
like I can prove myself here. It's
Hmm.
anything I couldn't prove on an NFL field. I'm badass. From Poland, and this is still something that I can show my badassery. I thought it was like acting 100%.
Hmm.
No, man. It was very first moment, very first touch. I understand that this is a real game, and everything I knew about it just shattered. Just
Hmm.
fall apart. I'm like, oh my god, those are real people.
Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How did this come about?
Uh, I don't know how to name it. I think it was more me reaching out because it's a funny story again. I wasn't even expecting to be WWE. You know, I was in was just signed with Vikings. I'm going to do football stuff, and my boy from Poland. Shout out to Seth Zakrzewski. He's the owner of Warsaw Eagles team. He reached out with congrats and he said, "Hey, and my boy from high school, he's in WWE, and they interested. They heard about you. They interested in you." And I took it as a joke. I started like, "What, man? You calling? I'm just on the top of the football game. You know, I'm just. This is super weird, really high for for a guy from where I'm from. You know, we don't
Hmm.
get to be there now. You're talking about some completely different man. Ah, that might be a joke or something. But he planted a seed that start with me. And when I was looking for next step, I'm sitting on the couch, man. I was sitting on the couch with my agent. And they shout out to Adam Bear, guy, the best guy. He helped me a lot, and that was the time he helped me the most. And I was like, you know what? They heard my name.
Hmm.
At least I can go in there and explore on that mind. Everybody was saying, "Oh, you should play in movies." I always felt like I should be actor or something. I love camera. Team always was pushing me to do interviews. So I was like, okay, I would like to try it. This
Hmm.
acting, this. And when he reached out to them, it's like, hey, yeah, we heard about him. And then next thing you know, I was lucky enough. But back then, there was not so many tryouts. Like
Hmm.
now, we should try out every couple months, I believe. Wherever they go, whatever big show they do, they can country, they just do tryout and then to see for them time. Back then, it was not that often. And I remember Kenyon said, yeah, bring him in this week. Like, they sent a tip. They say they put me on a plane. It was the same week. I've never wrestled in my life. Never been in a wrestling ring. But I was in football shape.
Hmm.
I wasn't in the wrestling shape. I was used to pushing people. And then staying still on my feet. And the moment I got to WWE to Performance Center, they try to undo everything. But like this was the moment for me to prove myself. And when he reached out to them as my boy, hey, I got this guy. They took me on the tryout. Uh, I believe it was the third day of the tryout. I was huffing and puffing because it was super hard.
Hmm.
Even for me, I thought I was in shape, but it was super hard. We got people falling down. We got people vomiting on the trash can. Uh, and they approached me on the side. I'm like, oh, I was like, hey, we interested. You're doing good thing. We interested in you. Keep showing what you got. And that was the moment they expressed they willing to hire me, and I was like, okay, we might have something here.
Was there anything more harder than what you thought it would be in particular during your tryout? I mean, I feel like they're
Oh,
going to push
absolutely.
you as hard as they possibly can to see if this is something you really want.
No, no. The tryout itself was, I think it was challenging because there was a lot of new things for me. Uh, there was a lot of people on this tryout. That was my tryout exactly was um, the one right after the Tough Enough.
Hmm.
And they brought all the people from the show to like they already knew the people. They already trained the people, and they brought them to try out, just to put them against people that had no idea. So I was like, okay, but it was the moment I met, some great friends. We hook up right away with Lacey, Evans, Macy, uh, Mada, Daria, Mandy, all the people were there. Bianca was on our like. Listen, man, no, she's no joke. So, yeah, man, this was way different than I expected. As far as physical side, there's nothing like wrestling cardio. You can't prepare to do a wrestling match in your garage or outside running.
Hmm.
It needs to be interaction. It needs to be you go in cardio, but then you got to be vocal. If it's bigger arena, you got to project. You got to bring intensity. Then you got to think about, I don't know what I know but you got to think about the match. I got to think about the guy. Maybe there's some cameras, so my head is spinning towards you. So it's just very complex to be in there and go keep the flow. If there's more people involved in the match, even harder. You got to see people come from all the directions. So yeah, man, it was much harder than I expected. But yet again, man, I felt like this was much more athletic than I expected, which I loved about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came the rest of the business. The camera work, projection. I had some like English class. I came here speaking Polish, so it was the whole transition. It was quite some time. I lived through a couple eras in WWEs
Mm-hmm.
that I spent there, and it was really good times.
Did you receive your contract after that third day, or was it after the tryout was over?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much on the third day. On the third day, it was like, hey, um, it wasn't like because they didn't know nothing about me. They just see the guy that he got hit that war of potential, and he just busted in his butt. So
Mm-hmm.
so they bank on this, and now like they knew what situation most of the athletes coming in there is, right. We
Mm-hmm.
coming in there, a lot of people are seeking this. A lot of people are looking, they've been working for this, and they're looking for mentors. A lot of people, but a lot of people, they have just looking for new opportunity. So if not this, if they're going to tell me, hey, we need you, I might be going to a different country next
Mm-hmm.
time they try to reach out to me. So they acted fast, and I'm glad they did because next I'll say 8 years, uh, this is history, man. It was ups and downs, but it was good, and I'm really very appreciative of all the opportunities and people that I met and people that I worked with along my time in WWE.
When you started in developmental, did they, being a bigger guy, was it harder? Did they have special like coaches you worked with? Did they want you to work a certain style, or was it just basics from the beginning?
Oh, it's everything. Well, like for me, it was basics
Mm-hmm.
for anything in the business because I have zero experience. But I think it was good. Oh, with the plus that I felt like I'm pretty coachable. And
Mm-hmm.
I was catching it pretty quick. But it started from basics and on that you can build on. And there's a you know group of coaches in that place that they gonna change you not only in the business mind, but like great minds. They teach you psychology of it, and but when Robbie Brooks are gonna get his hands on you, you'll feel it. You like the wrestling, you know that this is physical. He can get you in tanks or Norman Smiley or guy that I shout out to the best people that I met in there that just changed me not only as a athlete and wrestler, but he helped me to grow as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Terry, he's a great guy. So yeah, man. This. But come back to your question, like uh, I started from learning from the scratch,
Mm-hmm.
but real quick, like especially being 7 feet tall, everybody would tell you, no, you don't do this, don't do that, and I wanted to show that I'm athletic. I wanted to show that I can do flip bump, I'll do cartwheel, like you're never gonna use it in a match, or like stop doing it. There was a lot of from the side noise. So as a bigger guy, I needed to balance all the information that comes in and out. But then working in performance center environment, there got many coaches, many producers that they not only want to show their style, but um, in the class, and do you want to show your development or what you were doing just recently or what you working on. So it was always different. Wasn't always like, okay, one dimensional. Today you don't do this, so today we want to focus on this. So it was always uh, performance, but it was always also practice. It was also
Mm-hmm.
work towards everybody. So it always has to be balanced. You know, a lot of people struggle. They come in and they struggle that, oh, I shouldn't be doing this or I shouldn't be doing that. Yes, but like, you know, when the guy comes in and he's the guy and he asks you to do this, we don't talk about it after you already done it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, and that's how most of the time it comes. You know, more experienced guy, you rely on more experienced guy. You know, for good or for bad. Um, but that's how it roll. And I was very lucky, man. I was very like, not only I was through many different eras in there. You know, I was also good to be trained by guys like nobody even think about it. Like I don't think I'm going choked up. Like Scott Hall, man. He's no longer with us.
Hmm.
Great guy. He changed my mindset. Um, great guys like Undertaker. You look up the last ride, I was with him. They were talking about us working with them. You know what I mean? And he's no longer in the ring. Mark Henry, you know, he's no longer with the company, but he's still coaching stuff. Like Devon, he till this day, you know, shout out to Devon Academy, man. He's great people. So yeah, man, I was very lucky.
How long were you training before they started using you in some matches?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It was long. It
Hmm.
was long, and I want to say I had like 8 months to
Hmm.
have my first match, and I felt like uh, we were laughing with my man Mada. We were laughing that we were professional ring crew. We were riding to the shows, building rings for everybody, you know. And
Hmm.
they just kept bringing the newer and newer talent, you know. It was like one day we thought we already got it, you know. We're gonna go out there and they just bring like. They just bring Shinsuke Nakamura, and he just burn the place down. You know, I'm hoping they bring some other guys, you know, some more Joes. So like, oh my god, and our well coming out and say it was delayed and delayed and but like that's how it is, you know. The timing need to be perfect, you know, and then not only timing of the company to be right place, you need to be perfect shape or look that you want. So yeah, man.
Did they now when they came time for you to work matches? Did they know who they wanted you to be? Did you have any input on that? On who you wanted to be on TV?
Um, so I didn't get to TV long down the road. But the only like the first, I'll say the only first legit TV time for me was with as a Dabba Underground,
Hmm.
and this was very specific, and this wasn't something that you know I was getting ready and we were preparing the set. It was very out of nowhere, I would say.
Hmm.
And it was like, hey, okay, we want to do this style, and just come forward with whatever you thinking it should look like, and we're gonna go, we're gonna evaluate it. So we showed up, and everybody's like Fight Club, you know what I mean? Everybody's ready to go, and I'm looking around, and I got there was Shayna Baszler, there was Jawood, you know what I mean? There was Riddick Moss, so also bombers, you know, what I mean, guys that can go and they're shooters, like shooters.
Hmm.
They would twist you and like pretzel. So I'm like, okay, but like it was awesome to be in uh project that had very specific meaning, you know. It
Hmm.
was very specific time and we had very specific job, which I like. I'm very like task oriented, and it
Hmm.
was very hard to just stay ready and to just keep working on. You're doing good, keep doing what you're doing, but you still staying in the back, you know. So this was the hardest, and the moment where you go out there and do stuff and be and then maybe bring some ideas to life. Not it wasn't always most likely not. It wasn't my ideas out there, but like it was. I took pride in trying to embody somebody else's idea and see how they how this
Hmm.
grows into something that from written note and paper it became a person, and it became game character. It
Hmm.
became action figure. Became somebody that people can. Oh man, this is this guy. You know.
Hmm. Now, before the underground, was that the character that you were going with that they wanted you to be?
Say again.
Before Underground came about, was that who they wanted you to be? Was that the character you were working towards being?
Oh, absolutely not.
Hmm.
No, I felt like the funny thing is on behind the camera, on backstage, I'm the happiest guy ever. You know what I mean? I'm the happiest guy ever, and I'm really positive person. And I've always thought I'm going to be be the biggest baby face ever. You know what I mean? I'm going. But then you get in the ring and you got the guys, like half your size, and then we have to go, and then we have to suffer for half of the match. It was nah, man. Yeah, you're gonna be a bad guy. You're gonna be throwing people around. You're gonna grow up there, jewels, and you're gonna be that mean guy. I'm like, nah, you know what? To be honest with you, it is easier to be hated, to be not liked than to grasp somebody's, and it's easier to piss somebody off than make them like you.
Now, when Underground came about, did you feel like you were ready to be on the like TV and national television? Did you feel like you had enough training and like you were ready
Oh,
to
you know
start
what? I think
this?
so. Like I said, it was a long time coming,
Hmm.
and it was a lot of different ideas already, on the table, a lot of different ways to go about it, and I was really happy that we doing something, and it was specifically it was in the times when not a lot of people got to do stuff. It
Hmm.
was right about COVID, and then we were locked in and stuff, so it was. Um, it was good to like I said to be part of the project that can mean something for the company,
Hmm.
But yeah, it wasn't all how I planned from the get go to
Hmm.
go about it. Uh, the intensity, the physicality of the character,
Hmm.
his presence. This is me. This is something that I love. But like his move set or not, he never says anything. He's very stoic or serious. Well, this was put on and expected and wanted. So like I said, I came from football, basketball. I was a team player.
Hmm.
So uh, probably heard about it. Like this is not the best place for people that are team players.
After, so after you did Underground, was there any initial plans after? Like, uh, what was the next step in their eyes for you after we started this?
Again, man, it was a lot of um, on and off, like switch. I
Hmm.
felt like on off, but I feel it went quiet for a little bit. Yeah, we went back to doing our thing. We were like practicing in the performance center. We practiced in the Thunderdome.
Hmm.
We brought a lot of new people. Yeah, we got some, but it went really quiet for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, they just came like, "Listen, the WrestleMania is in 2 days. We need you." And I was like, "Well, let's do. Let's absolutely." And that's how Commander Z's came about.
Did they have like? Did they give you any backstory on what they want to do? They're just like, hey, 2 days for Mania, we need you to be here. This
No,
is
no,
who
no.
you are.
No, no, no. There was some basic rundown on the character, and then it was pretty extensive, but and it was close to what I was. Naturally, I was a part Nigerian myself. My name is Nigerian, and they realized after a couple of years, like, hey, we got a Nigerian guy. I was like, oh, so it was cool to finally get that through. Uh, but when we started, I felt like it was a little bit rocky at the beginning because
Hmm.
nobody knew what they want from this group. I would say,
Hmm.
but then me being with this genius man, this is machine guy. Like, he can do craziest stuff in the like Apollo man. This like he not only looked like a Greek god, but like he move, he fly, he control his body in the air that like I've never seen, and I've seen it firsthand, like from right under the ring or being in the ring, man. So he's awesome. But like, and with this idea, again, we got this idea and we just, stick around with it. A lot of times it was maybe less luck on the time frame. We walk out and like, listen, we guys, you lost half of your time and we on the way on the ramp. I'm like, oh, beautiful. You know what I mean? So it was sometimes it was difficult to, catch all the cover all the corners because there's stuff out of our control. But for what it was, I really enjoyed the time with everybody, and especially that time when we got to be, WrestleMania. I got to be the bad guy because I felt like I'm a Florida boy. I moved from Poland, but I'm Florida boy now. I live in Orlando, and I got to beat in Florida, and I got to help Apollo to beat the local guy when he just hated me. And then most of my matches I did on the live circuit here with NXT on the Florida loop. And they just loved it. Everybody, reached out like, this is exactly what we wanted. We were waiting for it. So it was cool.
You mentioned earlier about different eras. Do you feel like that's why it was so hot and cold from underground till WrestleMania?
Oh, it was hot and cold even prior to this. The first even the first years that I was there, it was WWE was going through I would say cultural transition. There was I was one of the very few out there athletes, the pure athletes that didn't have prior wrestling experience. They weren't super happy about it. And then the regime changed, and suddenly like, oh, wait up, we need more people like that. They more natural. They positive. They want to work hard. They want to be part of the team. They don't cause drama back there. This is their work. So it changed somehow in the on the backstage, but then on the TV too, and you could see through that a transition going from bigger guys to suddenly having those cruiserweight classic or women's era, and then just to have a bunch of flyers coming. So it was just to see like I didn't have experience. I didn't have no traction, but like even watching, let's say, Boobs. I'm sitting next to Boobs and catering or watching on the front of TV and the whole arena. They get show going and they go Boobs, 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 Boobs. And I'm sitting next to him and he's like, that's all we could do. There's stuff that's out of your control. And you got to go with the flow. Like, I understand. There's nothing that like I hold grudge. Like this is how it was. It just living through it was maybe tough, but was not going to kill you, man. Make you stronger. And we all got stronger. We all waited for a time, and when my time finally came, it felt good. It felt the mania was there. The pyro was there. The people's the people were there because there was one of the first mania after the COVID, so it felt great. Yeah. The other side is like this is a big circle, right? And when you debut on WrestleMania, there's only one way to go. So I was aware of this, but yeah, man, you do your best. You do your best and enjoy the process. So that was me.
I was gonna ask, what was it like debuting at WrestleMania? It's like that's the one time you don't want to mess up. You want that to be perfect.
Listen, this like talking about talk. I told you 2 days. That's all I had, and then I had no gear coming into the building. So it was funny thing. There's the story. I don't think anybody else. Well, there was the three people. My gear was being made as bumps were already. I heard bumps in the ring and Mania, and my gear is being sewn in front of my eyes from three different jackets because of the size. Like it was supposed to. And as I'm as she's trying to land, and there's this process going through, and I'm stressed, man. Like this is it, man. We here, you better. And I'm like, come on, girl. The Triple H and Stephanie, they walking through, and they see me having like just sleeves of my jacket, my back is open, and they just laugh. I'm like, yeah. Keep doing it. Keep going. Maybe make it. Maybe make it. He was laughing, and that's the situation, and I'll cherish with me forever. Uh, there's funny thing about that gear that there was somebody brought me a white beret, and it was like this was the most crucial thing of that gear, and I'm like, what? Like all of this, like you want to cover this with, and okay, I'm gonna do it. So I put the beret, the red on nicely. Got even pictures when I was trying which way to fold it, and then jacket was made. We're about to go out. The match is already on. They already clanging and banging out. There was the Nigerian drum match. There was a bunch of equipment around the ring, and I took to prep for this match. It was awesome to see it, but then I'm gonna sneak in. And I'm about to sneak in the stadium full of 75,000 people to sneak in. Like, it's not an easy thing when you're 7 feet. So I'm gonna put black hoodie. I put the black hoodie on, get tied up a little bit, so nobody knew the gear yet. So I'm hiding underneath, like crouching down and getting in the position. There was like the steps area that I could go under. I'm sitting there. I got the little monitor. I can see the ring. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be solid. And they clanking and banging. Apollo's in trouble, man. I'm gonna help him out now. Boom, I'm jumping out. So I'm going through the ring, bro. The second I see he hit the big ending. Boom. I'm hopping into the ring area, pull the hoodie down, grab him, boom, big choke slam, finish him with the Nigerian spot. And then I realized as I stood there, the beret, it was in the hoodie, it was off my head. I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, we keep going. And I didn't know I'm gonna get in trouble for changing the look right at the last second and anything. And everything finished up well. They were happy with, it said the spike was enough. You shouldn't smash him like that, man. It was too much, of course, again. But yeah, it was a funny story that this look was supposed to be different, and the beret was still in my closet somewhere. I never had enough courage to put it on other times on TV.
So after WrestleMania, what was their plans for you guys? Because you can't just debut on WrestleMania and be like, man.
Well, the plan was to he had a intercontinental title, right? He
Hmm.
was still feuding with Big E, and uh it's never too big of a plan,
Hmm.
uh you know. So, and you got to be able to go with the flow sometimes, and adjust, and stuff happen, like even injuries and or somebody. And this was very weird era, and this
Hmm.
was so weird era. Like we had plans. We had to change plan because people, tested positive the day they came into the arena. And
Hmm.
and and okay, we got to undo everything, and somebody else is going to step up, and we're going to do something else. It was we think we cooking, and we cooking on gas and on oil. We going to go hot, and then one day just the Judgment Day showed up. What the heck is Judgment Day? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Wait, what? You got what? But right before that, the feud, and the match that we had with Ray and Dominic, and
Hmm.
they still strong together, and us the antagonist in the situation was really cool, and then to work with him, and then to listen to his mind and how he put the match together. Listen, and you need this quiet time a little bit, when we
Hmm.
talk with him, and he's like, I got this. And he boom, 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 lay on step by. I'm like, my God, like this is genius,
Mhm.
genius. So yeah, this is awesome. Also, like awesome to meet all the people and experience this. Now they not always go to as plans, and sometimes there is no plan.
Mhm.
And when there's no plan, and you got uh, maybe 20 other people in the car, right? Uh, it's hard, and then your time to cut with somebody, it's hard to shine, I would say.
Uh-huh.
But man, I really cherish those times that I got to spend in WWE ring and then performing in front of packed arenas, man, packed and then heated arenas with bunch of really cool artists.
Mhm.
Because for me, wrestling became art. When I got there, I thought I'm going to be athlete, and I'm gonna shine. I'm going to throw people around. No, it's about art. It's
Mhm.
about caring about other people and delivering a show that will be remembered.
Mhm.
So yeah, it was completely different.
How long did you do the main roster before you started doing some stuff back in NXT?
I think we did like 2 years,
Mhm.
2 years, 3 years on the road with Apollo, and then we went quiet for a little bit, and then he came back to NXT, and that felt like, oh, that'll be cool to run it back
Mhm.
and see what's there, because we were hoping we were going to do it quick, like we like this is natural progression.
Mhm.
When there was we lost the title and started being issue, I think that was the feud we're gonna go to,
Mhm.
but it didn't happen. It happened later. I'm glad it happened in NXT too, because those years of practice in that building, it paid off.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy this building. I really enjoy people in there and then working with everybody in there. It was cool times, and there is a special vibe about this place, and a lot of people come there for different intentions. Some want some seeking recognition. Some like me, people that have no idea what's wrestling, is
Mhm.
seeking for guidance, mentorship, which I got tenfold.
Mhm.
Uh, but some people don't need nothing from them. Some people come in there to elevate this place. Because they already a huge name, and they are becoming the mentors right from the get go. Like I mentioned already, Shinsuke. He came in. I was fairly green guy, and he walked in. A guy walked through the door with already 5 cameras pointing at him.
Mhm.
First time I see him. What do you mean? Hey, I'm just warming up in my practice area, and he just walking in saying hello, and there's already 5 cameras. I'm like, my God, who is this boy? Who is this? Who is this guy? This is just this. The moment he started rolling in the ring and staying on his head and showing his, he started kicking that the rolling flip. I'm like, my God, yes. And I wanted to learn there and ask him, and we had a bunch of great conversation. We had match together, which I also love, man. Yeah, when you when you get in there and put a match together with a guy like that,
Mhm.
it's going to change your life, man. It's going to change. No matter if you're going to use it on TV or not, it's going to change your life. You're going to make your mind, go differently.
Mhm. I was watching some of your promos earlier with when you and Apollo were feuding, and like I just there's nothing better. I feel like those were so good. The way that you portrayed yourself, the way you were talking, like it was beautiful. You
Thank you,
know.
man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Thank you. And I also like there was the when we do wrestling, many times prior to this, actually, it happened to me. I was asked to portray a character that wasn't mine from the get go. Uh, but then you have this ability to put on something new. But this was a situation where I lived through the story,
Mhm.
and I could relate to whatever, like every single word when the interviews that I made as Dabba, before fighting with Apollo, wanting to get him. It was all me. It was all true. It was all it was all legit feeling, and those are the best promos that you can go range it from really happy-go-lucky guy, which I'm normally am, to the guy that was hurt, that was left behind, and and he wanted to revenge. So
Hmm.
it was cool to do this finally do this storyline. It was really nice, and I was really happy to to get in the warehouse in there and feel all those feelings.
Did they have any plans like for after this feud with Apollo?
No. So they coming in performance center. I was really excited um, to wrestle with Apollo.
Hmm.
Because who he is, man, the way he worked, the stuff he can do, he can elevate you. Uh, but on the other hand, I was also just mesmerized by the amount of talent that is in the performance center.
Hmm.
All the new guys that are up and comers, that haven't been through what I was, on the road, having stepped in those puddles that I, mistakenly as a guy that is out of culture did, to help them out not only in the ring wise, but a little coach wise, a little mentorship wise. It was good to spend all this good time with and make a bunch of good friends,
Hmm.
for life and all over WWE.
Is there anything that was discussed for you that never came to fruition?
Well, when you're in the company for so long,
Hmm.
and then in the beginning you try to get some knowledge and learn as much as you can. But then after some time, okay, I kind of know what I could be, and then you come up with some ideas. So there was a bunch of ideas, that was rolling through. But like I said earlier, this it's about timing. A lot of times, it's about timing,
Hmm.
and it's have to be perfect. For a lot of those ideas, it wasn't a good time. Uh, uh, for some of those ideas, it was a good time for somebody else. Uh, but yeah, eventually, when we start doing stuff with main roster, WrestleMania, when you go on the road, when you go to when you wrestle in Madison Square Garden, or
Hmm.
go all over the world, and then people recognize you for this work. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of ideas came to life. It was cool. It was cool to see some of them, but it
Hmm.
would be even cooler to see them on myself.
Is there anything that you wish you would have accomplished that you didn't get to so far?
Well, I was so um, happy to for Apollo to that he became champion on WrestleMania, and it was genuine happiness. And but after some time, when our feud came around, I was like, hey, why don't I show what how it is to regularly show up on the TV and have that storyline going, that is actually written. Everybody is on it, not only me and my writer, but like writer, producer, and doc. So
Hmm.
sometimes this message get lost on the way. So you know,
When your release came about, was it something that you didn't see coming, or that you thought might have happened?
I think I kind of sensed it. We never want stuff like that, but my contract was coming to end anyway,
Hmm.
and I was like, okay, prior, 10 or whatever number of contracts was it, we already had conversation long before it was even close to that. Now we came becoming pretty close. So I start pushing stuff, and I can feel like there was nothing uh great plan for me. And it's you get that feeling,
Hmm.
and I had that feeling that's gonna come. uh I was very still. I lived through so many cuts, man.
Hmm.
So many good friends, it happened to so many other guys, before me. So I kind of, you can prepare yourself a little bit for it, like you can prepare yourself financially, but then you can prepare yourself mentally, which I didn't think would be as hard as it was,
Hmm.
because you learn how to invest not only physical, but you learn how to invest emotionally in what you do. Like I said, and a bunch of ideas that maybe we're gonna do it now. And I'm a team player, so I'm gonna chill. I'm not gonna be knocking on banging on everybody's door. Well, it's sometimes you got to be a little pushy. Sometimes you gotta like I feel like next time, like next, if I would live through my life again, I would be more confident about the ideas that you're coming across with, because people will sometimes say, "Hey, you said this. There's a problem with this."
Hmm.
They'll find a problem and stuff, but there's no problem. Sometimes there's no problem, and you just gotta go and do it. And yeah, next time I will be really a little bit more pushy with stuff that I more confident about myself and yeah, but still really happy with
Hmm.
everything that I was able to accomplish, man. And the life we live and people that know me all around the world,
Hmm.
that can go to. This is all good stuff. This is all good vibe and I wouldn't be able to do much of it if that wouldn't be for WWE. So I'm grateful and I believe that there's still lots of good stuff coming. I got a bunch of good ideas, good projects lined up that is going to come up, and this is all thanks to my career. That I can call it
Hmm.
that way. A lot of people would love to have this. I'm proud to live through it.
If they called tomorrow, would you be open to returning to WWE?
I don't see a reason why not.
Hmm.
I don't see a reason why not. There's no hard feelings there.
Hmm.
This is business, man. You gotta understand. You gotta understand that there's going to be the avalanche of people lost their jobs. With me, it wasn't like, oh, it was single like listen out. It was
Hmm.
100 people before beep 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 beep,
Hmm.
and eventually, they came up with my name. So, you know, it's all good and it's all process. So, I'm staying open to all possibilities. I'm still young.
Hmm.
I'm training hard. I started new sport, which was completely different for me. I started playing long drive. I started hitting golf balls, and this is again, this is complete shift for me. I got this shift from basketball to football in Poland. Then from Poland to coming here, but then changed to wrestling. Now I shifted to golf a little bit and compete against people that have been doing this whole life, and they got a bunch of all this techniques and ways to improve that I can grasp and then hop on it and have the real results, instant
Hmm.
real results. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then I was a little work was couldn't see that. You couldn't see that a little bit. Here you can hear it, you can see it, you know right away. So you know which way spin, you know which is the approach angle, you know everything, is it clean or not clean, This is a little more white to black. And
Hmm.
and I love it. I'm an athlete, so that's what I like to do, just improve and do stuff that sometimes is uh, out of pocket.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's not most common decision, uh, but I feel it and I'm going to do it.
How is life after WWE?
Well, you got to find yourself, right?
Hmm.
It's like I've been WWE superstar for the past, years. That's how people know you. That's a lot of, the business partners know you. That's how people around you know you,
Hmm.
your neighbors know you. So what you gonna do now? Uh, I was never like super out, talkative people, like talkative and outspoken about stuff like that. Even now, I'm pretty open tonight with you. I don't know. I just like you, man. You got a good way to people to pull me. Uh, but the the my biggest success in my life is to have a strong support system, which is my family.
Hmm.
That's why I can go through anything, even loss of a job or ideals when didn't pay out or some business failure. Now the moment the moment I focus on them, it's it's uh it's a game over. It's a game over. I know what to do and I'm strong. You know,
Hmm. What's next for you?
like I said, man, there's a couple projects lined up. Uh, I can't be too much open about this. Um, but I'm also open my book. I'm, you know, went came to understanding that I really enjoy performing live,
Hmm.
you know, and being with people and having that energy, and then bottled up intensity, for something, I thought it was like me just badass, and I'm going like, but this outlet of of this I don't know, not only creativity but energy, needs to be there. So I'll put my book for bookings, and there's actually one show that I'm about to do in New York, and it's going to be in September. It's going to be with the Warriors of Wrestling, and I'm going to meet with the fans. Before that, we're going to go in Wrestling Universe store in Queens. I'm going to meet with fans. We're going to sign something. So I want to just give them a little energy.
Hmm.
I want to meet them. I want to see the vibe and come back a little bit to that what I love, man. To that what I grow to love and understand on a different level.
If you had any advice to give to anybody getting into professional wrestling, what would it be?
I'll say have confidence
Mm.
in your abilities. You there for a reason. That's it.
Yeah. Where can people reach out to you at?
Hey, hit me on Instagram, man. Hit me on Instagram. It's still. I don't even want to mention that I'm still fighting the good fight to change my nick on Instagram. They don't like me there. They don't want to change it for the last year. But it's still Dabba WWE. Hit me up there. I'm definitely trying to reach back and see what we can do. Yeah, man.
Well, I just want to say thank you for taking the time out today. Thank you for what you've done for professional wrestling and what you continue to do, sir. It's truly been an honor. Your positive outlook on everything. I've enjoyed our time today.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you. I really enjoyed my time with you too. It was a pleasure to meet you, talk with you. Hope this flies for.
Yeah. If there's anything that I can ever do, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.